The FA Cup is the oldest football competition in the world, with the first final being held in 1872, over 150 years ago. In fact, the FA Cup is so old that the first 7 winners don't even exist anymore. Over 700 teams take part each year, from the Premier League all the way down to the 9th tier of English football. The FA Cup has seen some seriously big draws for non-league teams, with Sutton United hosting Arsenal back in 2017 in the 5th round after beating Leeds the round before. AFC Marine hosted Spurs back in 2021, and even Tamworth hosting Spurs last week after beating Huddersfield earlier on in the competition. The point is that you can get some truly magic moments in the FA Cup, and that leads me to the question of today's video. Is the FA Cup's magic fading away? From low attendances and scrapping of replays, is the magic of the FA Cup slowly getting taken away from us? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. Now, whenever someone mentions the FA Cup, you're probably going to have your own most memorable moment. For me, it's got to be Sutton United goalkeeper Wayne Shaw eating a pie on the bench after not getting subbed on against Arsenal. For some people, it might be that absolutely unreal save that David Seaman pulled out in the semi-final for Arsenal. And you know what, for others, it might even be Wigan just defying all odds and beating Manchester City in the 91st minute back in 2013. It might even be an FA Cup upset, like when Bradford battered Chelsea 4-2 at Stamford Bridge back in 2015. Either way, everyone has got their own magical moment that they will never forget when it comes to the FA Cup. But with the way that football is changing at the moment, it really looks like these moments of magic are just going to become more and more uncommon. The whole removal of FA Cup replays is honestly just mind-blowing. You know, we've seen Burton in 2006 get a draw against Man United and forced a replay at Old Trafford. We've seen Exeter get a draw actually at Old Trafford, taking a replay back home back in 2005. Now, Exeter and Burton were both in the National League at this point, so not only was it a massive game for them, you know, because it's Man United, but it was also a massive game financially. And now, of course, Burton and Exeter are both in League One, so you know, I don't want to say that this game specifically helped them. You know, they're both probably well-run football clubs, but it definitely played a massive part. And this is why I want to talk about the Tamworth and Spurs game, because honestly, it's an absolute joke, to be honest. Tamworth fought so hard against Spurs and probably could have even won it right at the end. But a draw against a Premier League team is just incredible. Now, we all know Tamworth went on to lose 3-0 in extra time. And to me, that's just absolutely wrong. Tamworth had every right to have the opportunity to go to Spurs, because that would have been massive for them. Tamworth are around mid-table, just kind of a little bit safe from relegation in the National League, and they only make around 1.4 million a year. But it's estimated that this Spurs game, or the replay that would have been against Spurs at the Spurs Stadium, would have made just over £1 million just for that one game. Now, just think about what that kind of money could do and would mean to a team like Tamworth. They could improve so many aspects of the club, like the training area, the stadium, you know, other facilities that the players and the staff might need. But just because the Premier League teams, or more specifically the Big Six, don't want to play a couple more games, the replays have been scrapped. Like I said, personally, I think it's a massive joke, because we really need to look after the smaller clubs, because they are what makes the FA Cup what it is and what makes football in this country so great. And you know what, I actually saw a good point on Twitter about how replays could actually be fixed, and basically it said that the clubs in that game should be able to decide if they want to replay or not. For example, Man United are hosting Leicester in the next round, and they're both in the Premier League. They're not going to want to replay, so they can just go to extra time and penalties, right? But then you look at League 2 Doncaster, who have been drawn at home against Crystal Palace, and a replay would just be so massive for Doncaster. Even for Leyton Orient, who are hosting Man City, if they somehow, you know, just draw or get a replay, that would be absolutely massive for them and help them so much financially. Either way, I think we should just let the clubs decide themselves if they want a replay or not, but we do really need to protect the smaller clubs. But it's not just the scrapping of replays that are killing the FA Cup, it's also the ridiculous schedule. I mean, why are FA Cup games being played on a Thursday and Tuesday night? Friday night, sure. Monday night, sure. But why are we playing FA Cup games in midweek, especially Sheffield United versus Cardiff? You know, Fulham and Watford, fair enough. Millwall, Dagenham, fair enough, because they're close. But Sheffield and Cardiff are over 3.5 hours apart without traffic. Now, Sheffield United can hold 32,000 inside Bramwell Lane, but there was just a total of over literally just over 6,000 fans watching the game and only around 200 Cardiff fans. Now, first of all, I just want to say, if you're a Cardiff fan, then seriously, I respect you so much for doing that trip on a Thursday night, because it's a joke. And you know what? They truly deserve the 1-0 win that they got for their commitment. They could have quite easily put that game on a Saturday at 3 p.m, Sunday 3 p.m, even a Sunday 12:30 wouldn't be so bad. And so many more fans would have gone. But then again, Sunderland hosted Stoke in a 3 p.m. Saturday kickoff, and they only got 16,000 attendance. Now, I know 16,000 doesn't necessarily sound bad, but Sunderland can hold 48,000 and are really well known for a great home crowd and a great atmosphere. And I know for a fact that if this game was in the league, they would have had over 40,000 in that ground. So is it maybe just the fact that fans just don't care about the FA Cup at all anymore because it favours the Big Six? And you know what? I've got some little facts to show this, because the FA Cup definitely does favour the big teams, especially the top six. And in fact, since Wigan won the FA Cup back in 2013, there has only been one winner outside the Big Six, and that was Leicester all the way back in 2021. Now, another fact is that in the last 8 finals, 2 Big Six teams have faced each other in 6 of them, with Leicester winning it in 2021, like I said, and the other one being Watford versus Man City back in 2019, and Watford lost 6-0. Thing is, I can't even see anything changing, because the financial gap between the big teams and anyone else is just getting so much bigger and bigger that, you know, everyone else just can't compete. Like, I know it's not the FA Cup, but in 2013, the final of the EFL Cup was literally between Swansea and Bradford, and that's just never ever going to happen again, because the Big Six teams are just way too good. So to answer the question, is the FA Cup's magic fading away? I truly think so. But that's just my opinion, guys, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Is the FA Cup still magic, or has the magic truly died now? But yeah, guys, if you did enjoy this video, then please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel while you are down there. It would really mean a lot to me. And yeah, basically just thank you so much for taking the time out your day to watch this video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys stick around, and I promise you won't regret it.